Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to go ahead and get started. So, today's session is going to be on Conga email templates. So, hopefully, you all are excited to learn a little bit more about how you can take your Conga Composer solutions a little bit further. My name is Teresa Bowerly, and I'm a learning and development specialist here at Conga. And I've been lucky to work here for about 4 years. And I'm excited to take you guys through today's webinar. So for today, we're going to assume a couple of things one is that you're a Salesforce admin. Two, you've installed the Conga Composer app from the Salesforce App Exchange, and that you've also been working and creating Conga Composer solutions. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of paint a quick scenario of why you might be interested in using Conga email templates. So let's say you are using Conga Composer to generate your quotes or invoices or even letters in a Word document. And this current process, you're currently just manually typing up an email every time and attaching a quote or invoice and sending that out to your customers. And this process is working great, but you are starting to generate new business and you're spending more and more time on typing up all these emails and attaching quotes and invoices. So you're kind of finding out that this isn't a good use of your time. You also have some customers that might be requesting you to email their quote or invoice with the same information right in the body of the outbound email so that they can review the quote or invoice from their mobile device. So this is one of the best features that Conga email templates can actually help you do. So in today's webinar, we're going to walk through on how to create a Conga email template and add merge fields right into the body of that email template. And all you have to do is click on a Conga Composer button and select an email rather than typing up an email draft every time and manually attaching a quote or invoice. So by the end of today's session, you will know how to create a Conga Composer email template, add merge fields to the body of that email template, and then we're also going to review a few Conga Composer parameters that can kind of help you automate your Conga email templates as well. This will be great on saving you time as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. I'm going to go ahead and head over to Salesforce here. I'm going to close out my PowerPoint. So the first thing you want to do is create a Conga email template record. When you install Conga Composer from the App Exchange, you have access to Conga email templates. So if you're working in Salesforce, it should be maybe at the top of your ribbons here, and if you don't see it there, you'll have access to Conga email templates in the All tabs section as well. But you're going to want to go ahead and create that record. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and select New. And then we're going to go ahead and give this Conga email template record a name. So I'm just going to call it Conga quote for today's session. You also have the option to kind of create a template group around these. You can put in a description used to send quotes. That can be for your end users. So if they see a list of different Conga email templates you have, they'll see that note in there. And we'll go ahead and click Save here. So then the next thing we want to do is we want to actually go ahead and start creating that email draft that we would like to use and send each time we're sending out a quote or invoice to our customers. So to do that, we're going to want to go ahead and select the Advanced Editor button here. And so what this allows us to do is it gives us a little bit more options when we're building out this template to kind of further format things or add certain things. And we're going to start adding merge fields into this template here. So I'm just going to start off by typing out dear because that's what I like to address. And then I'm actually from here, I'm going to go to our opportunity and I'm going to go ahead and grab a merge field. So to do that, we're going to have to run our Conga Composer button here and we'll go ahead and start grabbing some merge fields that we're going to want to go ahead and add to our email template. So I'm going to switch back here and go into that template for us and pull up my template builder next to it. So I'm going to do my drop down, select template builder, and we're going to go ahead and get started adding our merge fields here. So you'll find that this process is a little similar to adding merge fields to a Word document. All right, so let's see. I want to go ahead and just add a contact name here. I'm just going to type in name, and I'm going to go ahead and grab Sean's name here, and I'm going to double click. And actually, I don't want to have my label included, so I'm going to send that back over and uncheck include label. And try that again. Okay, great. So now I've got that name selected. And just like you would add to a Word merge field, you can just click on it and drag it over to your template here. So I want to drag that up a little bit further. Let's see here. So I'm going to do deer, and then we've got our merge field here. So kind of just like that. So not too bad, not too hard of a process, kind of similar to what we've done in Word. And let's see now you want to go ahead and just add some details from their quote that you might be sending. So I'm going to use opportunity line items, which is going to pull some line items from my opportunity record where I'm running my Conga Composer solution from. So I'm going to just do a quick drop down here. And actually, before I do that, let's kind of continue on with a draft here. So I'm just going to kind of plunk in some text here. This is kind of what I want all my quotes to say to my customers. Thank you for your business. Please see below for information on your quote for our services. So we kind of typed in our text here. That's going to show up on this email template every time. And now let's go back to the template builder and kind of add those opportunity line items that I would add in my quote if I was sending a Word document. So I'm going to click this, send that back over. We're kind of done with that field. And let's see, I want to go ahead and grab the product name. So I'm going to type in product and grab the product name. Let's see here. Product name, here we go. So I'm going to grab the product name, and as you can see, it's starting to build a template for me. It's going to create that detail region for me to add to my quote here. And basically, those are just all the fields that we want to have in a table. So I search product name. The next field, I think the next column I would like is list price. And I think it just pulled it up there for me. So I'm going to double click that. It's being added to that table for us. And we'll go ahead and do just total price here and add that there. So when you're building a table and adding it to a Conga email template, this process is a little bit different than you saw me do when I was clicking and dragging just that one field. The tables are a little bit more sensitive with the HTML option. So what you're going to want to do is either control copy or do a right click and copy. And then from there, in this advanced editor option, you're going to go ahead and just select paste from Word. You can also select the other option, but I'm just going to grab paste from Word because we're going to do something else that I'll show you what I'd like to do. And actually, I did forget to do one thing I wanted to add in the label. So I'm going to quickly send that back. And this time I want to include my label since I'm creating a table. So I'm just going to grab the name again, grab that product name. Let's see here. Let me go back here to opportunity line items. Grab product name. So you can kind of see it's pretty easy to kind of quickly get in and out of using the template builder while you're working next to your template. I'll just quickly add our other field. We had list price. Now you're kind of getting to see everything twice here. And then we'll do total price. Okay, great. And see how when I checked the include label, it went ahead and added those field labels up here for us to use, and that's what I wanted to do. So I'm going to, again, right click and hit copy. I'm going to go into here, click this paste from Word option, and paste that here, and click OK. So as you can see, it went ahead and added our table right in the body of our email. So this is pretty cool. So this information will get saved in this email template. So every time you go and run the Conga Composer solution and select this email template, it's going to generate and grab those opportunity line items and paste them here in that table right in the body of the email. So that is how you would actually add those fields over from the template builder. Now I did want to show you one other cool thing and just another option, because you might be thinking, well, I already have an invoice template. You know, I just would rather use how that template has those fields set up. That's great. You can actually do that. You can copy and paste those fields from your existing template into the body. So let's go ahead and just delete this out, and we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to just delete this table real quick. And let's go ahead. I'm going to grab an existing template I have. This is an existing template I use for quotes. And like I mentioned, let's say you just want it to look exactly like this from your current invoice or quote that you're using. All you want to do is go ahead and copy that information here. You'll do just control right or control copy. And we'll go in here, and again, we're going to just choose that option to paste in Word here. And we'll go ahead and paste here. And there you go. So you've copied that over from your existing template. So I find that some people really like to do that since they really get attached to their templates that they built on their own, which I totally understand. I'm the same way. So that's an easy way of taking the information and just adding it into the body of the email here. And so once you're in here, you can actually, you might want to go ahead and format your fields that you have in here. So I'm just going to maybe right align my currency fields. Just so I like the way that it looks when it's generated. So you can kind of always do that once you're in here. You can always have the opportunity to kind of just make sure things will look okay while you're building it. So again, I'm just going to right align that option. I'll do the same over here. I just like to have those fields right aligned for an actual quote. Let's see here. So we'll right align this. And maybe we want to center our columns here. You can do that as well using this advanced editor. It's kind of a cool feature here. So I'm just going to center our titles here like this, just to make it look a little nicer. And I'll do this section over here. Let's see here. All right. There we go. Okay, I like the way that table looks. Okay, so we'll go ahead and I'll just put the rest of my information here. So I'm going to say, please let us know if you have any questions. And I'll just say thank you. And then again, I'll just quickly show you again how you can add those from other fields from the template builder. So we'll go back here, clear this out, take that back over, and again, I'm just going to grab my information here. So we'll just do contact name here. Let's see here, created by, it's not the actual field that I want. Type in name. There we go. Create name, contact name. Here we go. That's what I want. So again, you can also kind of click here and that copies that to your clipboard. And you can kind of come back over here and just hit paste or paste here. And again, it's adding in that field because I had the include label option listed on there. So I'm just going to delete that out because I don't really want the field name in front of my actual name. Okay, awesome. So you briefly saw how we could add fields to the body of the email. So let's go ahead and save this. And let's just go ahead and test this now that we've got it built out. Let's just take a look and see what it looks like. So to do that, I'm going to go back to my opportunity, and I'm going to go ahead and run my Conga button here. And we'll go ahead and test out this option. So we're going to go ahead and select Conga email templates, and then we're going to choose that specific template from our list here. And let's go ahead and merge an email. So this is going to kind of generate our email template here. And there you have it. So there's our table. And again, you can see my formatting's off a little bit. So when you are building these, you'll just have to take the time to kind of quickly update your formatting options. But as you can see, here's our letter we typed out, or excuse me, our email draft that we typed out, and then the information that we pulled over from our template builder or existing template as we were showing you earlier. So that looks great. So I wanted to now kind of introduce you to some parameters that can help you further automate this option. So notice how we don't have a subject in there, and that's also something, every time you send out your invoice, do you want to have to manually type in a subject? And let's say you maybe want to attach the full version of the quote here to this email. So rather than clicking attachment and going and searching for the file, you can actually use a parameter to auto grab that template for you and add it here in that email so you don't have to do that. So let's close out of here, and then I'm going to show you some parameters that'll kind of help you take this solution a little bit further and save you some more time. So I'm going to close that here, and I'm going to go into an existing button that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and just start adding some parameters that are going to help us do all of this. So the first parameter I want to add is our Conga email template ID parameter. So I've already got it just added up here. I'm going to paste it down here. So what this does, this allows us to grab that Conga email template record ID that we just created. And what that's going to do is tell Conga Composer to choose that specific Conga email template every time we run this solution. So let's go back to our Conga email template record. And let's go ahead and grab that ID. So I'm just going to double click on this ID back here. I'm going to right click, copy, I'm going to go back to my button and paste it here. All right, so just like that. And if you're new to parameters, parameters are awesome. They can kind of really take your solution to the next level and kind of further automate that process. They're used to kind of just control and change the behavior of your Conga Composer solutions. And at the end of today's session, I will show you where I've gathered these parameters from. We've got an index of we have an index of Conga Composer parameters listed on our support page. So I will be sure to navigate there later to show you guys that. All right, so the next parameter I would like to do is add in a Conga email template, or excuse me, Conga template ID. So what this is going to do is kind of the same way as we chose the specific Conga email template record. We're going to do the same for an actual Conga email template that we want to use. So this is what I was saying is if you're sending out that email and let's say you want to actually attach a full version of that invoice, or quote that you're sending when you're sending out that email, but you don't want to manually have to go search around and attach that file, you can do that by adding this parameter in, and Conga Composer will know to grab that specific template that you're going to want to send out. So to do that, we're going to go back to our ribbons here. So we just grabbed the Conga email template. Now let's actually grab the Conga template ID. So I've got that Conga quote listed here, and I'm just going to click on it. And I'm going to grab that ID just like we did in the other screen when we were grabbing the Conga email template ID. So I'm going to click copy, and I'm going to go back to our button here and paste that there. All right, so now Conga Composer is going to know to grab that specific template every time we run this email. Okay, so then further down, as I mentioned earlier, maybe you don't want to have to type in a subject every time you are creating this email. And so to use the ampersand email subject ID parameter here, this allows you to type in a subject here that you want to be used every time you run the solution. So that's also kind of helpful and will save you time. So we'll just call ours, let's see here, maybe flat irons technology. We'll call it quote. So you'll notice I was typing in a plus sign. So that's to indicate that there should be spacing right here. We are working in a URL code here. So if you do type in a physical space, that's going to cause a 404 error. So we use those plus signs to indicate spacing there. All right, and then finally, let's say you also, once you send out this email, you want to log the activity on that opportunity record to show that you've sent out that email. You can do that by using the activity logging parameters. So to do this, we first have to enable the activity logging option. So to do that, we'll do ampersand AC0. If we set that equal to 1, that's going to turn on the activity logging option and tell Conga Composer that we'd like to log an activity. And then we'll go ahead and use ampersand AC1, and what that does is that allows us to set a subject for the activity we're logging. So I'm just going to say sent quote. And so that's going to log that activity on that opportunity record. So these parameters here are just going to kind of further help us automate that option. So every time you go to send out your invoice or quote to your customer, all these options are manually going to be chose for you, so you don't have to take an extra step to do that. So let's go ahead and save this, and we'll go back and test this out and see all of our automation come to life here. So we'll go back here. I'm just going to refresh this since we were making some changes behind the scene here. We'll do a quick refresh, and we'll run our Conga Composer button, and we'll check out all of our cool automation pieces that we have added. All right, so I'm going to, let's see here. All right, so if you notice over here, the activity logging box, you'll see that we have a subject called sent quote. So that was that parameter that we added to help us use the activity logging option. So that's what's going to be logged in our opportunity record after we send out our email. And notice it grabbed our Conga quote automatically out of this list of different templates that we have here. So this is actually just the template that's going to be attached to our email, but I went ahead and grabbed the appropriate one because we used that parameter asking it to grab the specific templates. We used that template ID. And then now if we go into our Conga email templates, again, it's grab that specific Conga email template that we asked it to by using that ID. So let's go ahead and select merge an email, and we're going to just kind of watch this process happen here. So we're going to generate this. All right, so now you see we have a subject populated for us. We didn't have one before, so that's where we use the email subject parameter. So it's Flatirons Technology quote. So every time we run that solution, it's going to grab that specific subject since we use that parameter. Here's our email body. Here's our information, and then below here is the actual full version of the quote attached. And so Conga grabbed that specific template we asked it to by using that ID. So there you have it. So that's kind of what it looks like here. Let's go ahead and actually send this email out, and we'll go ahead and see what it looks like in an actual, once it comes into an inbox. So we'll send that. Let's go over here to our inbox. I'll just do a quick refresh here. And we'll go ahead and open our email here. All right, so that's what it generally looks like. So there's the email right there. There's our subject, our draft that we created, and then our table that we drug over, and then attached our quote here. So that's pretty cool. And then now if we go back to our opportunity, since we sent out that email, let's go see if that activity logged for us to show that we sent that quote. And if you look here below, it did. So it logged our activity of sending that quote. So now if we come back to this record, we'll know that we sent it on March 3rd. All right, so that's just what I wanted to show you guys today. So hopefully you guys found that interesting and helpful. I'm going to jump back into my PowerPoint here. And I did want to point out some other products that kind of help you further streamline your process. So if you're finding you're needing to send more invoices or letters or quotes and it's in mass quantities, we do have a additional product called Conga Conductor. And Conga Conductor can help you batch and schedule out these solutions. So, just what we did today, we can create a standard email template and a specific template we wanted to use and kind of get that scheduled and sent out in batches and mass quantities to your customers. The sky's the limit, really. We have a lot of great products, and I encourage you to go to our website and check out our products. I just wanted to point out some other, sorry about that. I wanted to point out some other resources. So we have on our Conga Composer support page, you can find all of these resources that I have listed here, but we do have a Conga University. So this is great if you're just getting started with Conga and you want to kind of get up and running quickly. You have a couple of options. You can do self-paced courses that'll just kind of get you kind of entry-level information and start introducing you to advanced solutions. We also have instructor-led in a virtual classroom. So this is really cool to kind of just get you started. And then we also have a webinar archive where we're going to have this webinar listed today. Also, if you registered for today's webinar, you will receive a follow-up email with a link to this recording. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we have a Conga Composer index of parameters. So if you go to our support page and select index of Conga Composer parameters, you'll find a list of all the parameters that I showed you today and many more options to kind of help you further customize those solutions. We also have our Conga Quick Starts where you can have a library of different short little videos to get you up and running. We have our Conga documentation. We have use cases on the website I encourage you to check out. So there's lots of different resources to help you guys. And then as always, if you get stuck or just want to talk to us, just give us a call. We've got our EMEA office down here in Australia and the US. So thank you so much for your time today. I hope you guys enjoyed the session, and hopefully you'll be enjoying creating some Conga email templates to further save you time and take your solutions to the next level. Thanks so much. Have a great day.